Wastelanders to another settlement video tour. As you can see, we are at Sanctuary Hills with some serious frame rate issues because this is no longer just Sanctuary Hills, this is Sanctuary City. As you can see, there is no stone that has been left unturned. Quite literally. I pretty much changed every single aspect of this place. I think the only thing that's sort of original is that the roads leading through are, what do you want to say, like pre-war sanctuary, which is where the green grass comes from. Most of it anyway. So let's jump right in this because we got a lot of ground to cover. So as you can see, the original wooden bridge is gone. I have replaced it with this one here. This is from a mod. I think I got this from S'mores. Yes, sorry, I was totally drawing a blank there. S'mores. And the bridge itself is from actually Nuka World Transit Center. I've used this bridge a few times before, most notably recently. I think it was in Hangman's Alley, as well as my castle at 10 Pines Bluff 3.0. Alright. So, coming in here immediately, we have a couple of buildings that are connected together with this fancy schmancy little bridge of its own, and as you can see from each side, this is police stations. We even have a little police car, so to speak, here with some flashing lights that help add a little, I don't know, character, a little ambiance to the whole shebang here. I didn't bother to dress anybody up in any kind of outfits. I don't know, just didn't feel like it. So, yes, we do have some interiors on some of these buildings, and actually, before we even jump into that real fast, I did not put interiors in every single building in this place. If I had done so, my frame rate would probably be dropping down to 1 FPS per second here and there, so I kind of picked and choose. So, in here we have some stuff going on. So this is Police Station Part 1. This is where we have some cells so that all the bad dudes and whatnot that we lock up can be put in here. We have a little security cage to prevent them from getting out. I would say in and out, but who the heck wants to get in here? So, yeah, there's actually supposed to be some lights in here, but it looks like my lights are kind of broken. Yeah, so if I do that, there we go. That's kind of what happens sometimes when you're making these very, very large settlements. Another Bethesda thing, the electricity is kind of hit or miss, so. But anyway, we have a little security guard here. I had planned to put some decorations in there, but like I said, once I got to the point that you're kind of seeing now with putting in more and more decorations, my FPS would have just continued to plummet. So I just decided to kind of quit when I was ahead. I mean, not saying that, there you go, there's not some decorations in this place. They're far from it. As you can see, we also have an armory over here. Lots and lots and lots of armory. You have armor itself and lots of weapons displayed. I forget the name of that particular one. But like I said, like I've said in every video, I should say, every mod that I use is in the description below, so just look for something that says like weapons displays, and that'll be the name of it. In here we have some awesome monitors and whatnot provided by SOE. Good way to learn your ABCs. There's supposed to be a card here, but you know, Bethesda. So yeah, this is pretty heavily, I don't know, I don't want to say fortified, but guarded up, maybe. But we are also actually heavily fortified. The walls are actually from Nuka Transit Center as well, or I should say Nuka World as well. Decided to use that one this time instead of the traditional walls that I usually use, just to do something a little different. So, go right over here. We can connect right over to the other building.
You gotta take things one day at a time.
Oh, that's some great words of advice. One day at a time. So yeah, we have these fancy schmancy walls, which I decided to do something a little different. I like the way they look. They're way taller, and I like the fact that they already have like a, you know, a nice little cap on the top of them. And I can see the whole setup there. So anyway, let's jump back up over here, back into police station number 2. And same thing, we have a matching balcony out here, and again, no guard because, you know, Bethesda, so. Vim, you've got Vim. And over here is just kind of offices. We have the police chief captain's desk right there, which is not occupied because the person I believe is standing right outside, or actually no, that's her right there. She's just kind of chilling down here. Maybe she's staring at somebody. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Who knows? Every time I try to do like big giant builds like this, it's just always kind of the same thing. So no big deal. And we actually do have another guard out here that's kind of standing. He's probably one of the ones that's supposed to be up on top there. So anyway, yes, not every building in here is decorated and occupied. Most of these are just kind of empty shells, and inside I used SOE to light them up so that at nighttime it does look like there is life in them. So if we go take a quick look inside, you can see like nothing, just basic empty shell there. Same thing for over here, but I wanted to, of course, create the illusion that we have a full city here, which I mean we do, just it's not all occupied, all usable, whatever you want to say. And so, you know, did my best to make each building as unique as possible with all kinds of differences in the architecture and the structure. You know, this one we have like a little nice green grassy patch here with like a little tree and their own little private balcony. Again, not fully decorated. I just kind of put in enough to create the illusion of the house, and you can see the buildings glitching into one another because I decided I wanted to kind of recreate the same sort of look and feel of like downtown Boston, where all the houses are, or I should say all the buildings are kind of meshed together as one, even though they're all, you know, separate. So yeah, same thing, just all of these are just kind of their own little things that are all connected but not. Put some greenery down over in here to kind of hide the backyard, which we will get to at some point. But over here we actually do have a building that is decorated and serves a purpose. If you haven't guessed, we have a big sign up there that says Mass Fusion, and we have a whole bunch of connected power lines here that are behind a gate for safekeeping, so you don't touch these and get electrocuted. Not a fun time. And we actually do have fully functional telephone poles. I did actually put these in, and I did hardwire them throughout the entire city here. When I say functional, I mean they can, you know, power something, but they actually don't. I'm using a wireless power source to power the whole place. Let's see, actually, these set up. Actually, these lights are doing okay. One of the last times I was in here, I did fix some of the lights. So anyway, we can go into here, into the Mass Fusion building, where they have lots of fishies. Yes, we have fish tanks. We have one over there and one over here. I do like fish. I do have my own 30-gallon fish tank, so it's really cool to find a mod that does this type of stuff and put them in here and give people something to look at. One of my doctor's offices actually has a very giant, like 100-gallon tank that very nice to look at when you're sitting in the waiting room for like 6 hours just to get in there. And we've all felt that before. So in here we actually have our generators. I decided to put in all kinds of different funky power source generators and added some of the decorations to them, like these sparks that you're seeing in there, both up there and down there. I added those in there. The spinning part, that is part of this particular one. Do not ask me where some of these come from. Kind of find them sometimes in Homemaker or CVC or even USO. So, you know, try them all and see what you got. Same thing with the sparks up there. Those I put together myself. Another generator over here, and a bunch of stuff over there. These actually are all connected together. So, again, these are putting out a ton of power. Like each one. Let's see if it tells me that one does 16. Then we got 8, and then we got 60 and 25. So these are all putting out power, and they are all connected and going to the power lines outside. Just, I never really connected the wires to anything. It was just really kind of all for show. So anyway, glass roof here. Just decided to throw some stuff in there to kind of break it up a little bit. And actually, no, I am sorry. I turned myself into a little bit of a liar. All these wires go here and dead end on these, and then these do not connect to the connectors outside. I could. It's not that big of a problem, but I just never did that. So, but anyway, it could be a fully functioning power plant and power grid. Head on up here, and we have some offices. We actually do have a secretary sitting here, kind of staring in at the boss. And that's another weird thing. If you see that yellow line, that just kind of started happening to me recently. I don't know if that's conflict of a mod. What I think we're seeing is the AI tracking of the character. I could be wrong on that one, but it is, you know, totally feasible because of the way that it seems to work at times. So anyway, up here we just have, you know, a nice little lounge area for the big head cheese. He's even got his own little safe, and he's got a pool table, and for when he's firing, got a little guy right there to put you on the chopping block. And let's go ahead and move along.
Isn't that something?
Alright, so again, these are all just kind of empty shells here. Not really any point in showing you the insides of all of them. But we actually do have another filled building, the Supery Dupery Mart. And I spent a lot of time fixing this one up. We actually do have some glass displays with some stuff in them. These are normally empty, and I think usually only have maybe glass on some of them, but I did insert that in there to kind of create the look. We'll come on in here, and we do not have any vendor people because the AI in this game and Bethesda is terrible. One of them is actually supposed to be Mama Murphy. I was giving her something to do in her old retirement age. She was just going to kind of be a cashier, but you know, these things don't always work the way you want them to. So anyway, we have Super Duper Mart. We have all kinds of beverages and food and whatnot here on the lower level, including a full Eden buffet. It's the thing that a lot of supermarkets are doing nowadays. They're actually adding like little food courts, basically. So kind of just went along with that. And that's where all these come from a mod that gives you these food buffets. Let me see if it will tell me the name. It just says Buffet Counter 1 and 2, so on and so forth. But yeah, I think it's like buffet display or something. Again, everything's in the mod description, or I should say in the description of the video. And these actually do have all labels to them too. That's really, really cool. You have dog meat, which is kind of disturbing. But, you know, a little bit of everything. Some Meyerler cakes and meat and an omelet. Actually, some of this does sound kind of good. So yeah, that's the lower floor. The upper floor is all clothing. And, of course, our lights are kind of only half working, and even when they are, they don't really seem to do much, so whatever. So yes, up here is just all clothing displays, and you know, we have uniforms and armor and I don't know, hats. There's a hat right there. So anyway, there's my Super Duper Mart. And so as you can see, yes, we do have the pre-war sanctuary roads. I did not put these roads in myself. I am using a mod that cleans up all of Sanctuary, rebuilds all the buildings back to pre-war status, as well as the roads, and then adds a whole bunch of green grass. So I did not put any of these roads in. It's not like one of my Let's Build videos where I showed you how I can put roads in. This is not from me. So here we have a giant building, one of many. I put several really big buildings. There's another one down there, Trinity Tower. We'll be taking a look at that one in a little bit. But this one we have a sign for now leasing, and initially I was going to turn this into some sort of big office building or something, but once I got to the point where my frame rate was starting to suffer, I had to kind of get creative. And so let's take a look inside and see what we got going on. So yeah, this is a very old, sad, decrepit building. So as you can see, we have debris and junk and garbage just all over the floor here. We have random holes, and somebody dumped some irradiated barrels down there. And so yeah, this is our first floor kind of falling apart, and so we're gonna go ahead and head on up to the next floor, and kind of the same thing here. This whole building is in very sad disarray. And so that's why it is for lease, because nobody is using it, and it's just kind of sadly falling apart. So over here, I kind of created a little scene. We have a big chunk of floor that has come crashing through this section of floor from all the way up there. As you can see, I put a lot of thought into the design of the chaos, which seems kind of like an oxymoron, but be careful what you call me, alright? I'm neither an ox nor a moron. Moving on. So the next floor, again, some more rubble and some holes and just, you know, completely decrepit and so on and so forth. And then the next floor or two, I decided to pretty much get rid of all of them and just kind of leave it. As in, there's not really much here, so we don't even have any stairs or anything. It's just all kind of like the floor is collapsed, which, you know, looking at things, you would see a lot more debris down there, but, you know, I can't do everything, so. But yes, up here, this was a whole cement floor that had all this metal lattice going through it, and just kind of started falling apart and falling through. That's where we get some of these large sections of bricks coming down here, and even got some holes up in the ceiling as well. Some holes that we can, there we go, pop out of, and yeah, now you can see what the roof looks like from up here. And so from here, you can actually see the vault. And if you're wondering why that section over there is green, that is actually part of the mod cheat room. I do not know why the mod author decided to do that, but that whole section is like all greened out, and there is actually some buildings over there that you can explore. I don't know. Don't ask, but that's part of it. Alright, so plop down here. Let's continue on. So here we have the Colonial Tap House. And then, as you know, leading towards the back of Sanctuary, there is that little dirt path that leads to the bridge back there. And I went through a million different things of trying to put some sort of walkway here, and I ended up with these here, which I think is part of Snappy Housekit as well. And it was really, really cool because there are these slanted pieces that just happen to work perfectly with these same sloping of the ground here. So after numerous trials of different things to try and create a path down this way, this actually ended up working out perfectly, with the exception of like this little spot right here because of these steps, which leads to even more buildings. There's way more buildings. Trust me, this is a large settlement with a very long tour here, so bear with me. So I had to create a little landing pad here to kind of connect the steps and the pathway here. And of course we have a couple of guards back here.
I don't have time for you right now.
Whoa! You guys got some attitude. So anyway, here's the bridge. This is also repaired. This is part of the sanctuary repair thing. And oh, apparently I took a tree out and forgot to take out the hanging vines and whatnot off of it. And whatever. So we have turrets up there. Some turret spotlights back here. These actually are connected by batteries. Just because I have wireless power does not mean that everything works. The turrets are... Why are you being difficult, buddy? Turn around. Oh, that's why I didn't settle you down. Settle down! No, and I did it again. What a dum-dum. So anyway, these turrets are actually connected to these batteries down here. Back off, civilian. You know, I'm about to shoot you in the face. So, just because I have all this wireless power does not mean that everything is connected wirelessly. Sometimes things like that, which when you use, it's a settlement electricity overhaul. When you use it, it does tell you that not everything is going to work, and it's basically things like the turrets, stuff like that. So, Colonial Tap House is decorated. Let's go ahead and take a look inside here. And we have a bar with the bartender being where he's supposed to be being. And I don't know why he looks like he's holding a weapon when I set him up to be a bar vendor, but whatever. So we have the counter down here with some stools, and we have a nice little, I don't know, couchy lounge place here, or they're playing some checkers. And then we can head on upstairs and have a little mini lounge area and a couple of beds in case you've had way too much to drink and you need some place to sleep it off. Pretty basic. I was going to try and break this up into rooms, but because of how narrow it was just not going to work the way I wanted it to. We also have the rear door here, which leads to those steps and this other alleyway, which we're not going to get to just yet. We're going to stick to the main roads first and then work our way back because we have a lot of different places to visit. This is an empty building. I had initially planned to decorate, but when things started getting a little funky-dunky with the FPSs, I had to kind of forget it, so it's just an empty vessel. So over here we have Slocum Joe's Coffee, morning, noon, and night. They are open 24/7, apparently. So we do have some walkways here. I did put in some sidewalks, and fortunately they're a little on the crooked side, and it was very difficult to get all these walkways and whatnot to line up as good as they are. But I mean, when you're walking through like downtown Boston in this game anyway, it's, you know, they're not as perfect as you'd expect them to be. I mean, it's Boston. It's a town full of drunks and never mind. I'm just messing with you. If you're from Boston, don't shoot me. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get myself banned. Anyway, Slocum Joe's. We have a nice little restaurant in here where they serve very overpriced donuts. Dozen donuts for 42 buckaroos. That's, wow. And a large coffee and jelly donut for 30. I mean, if you really look at this, like 30 bucks for just coffee and a donut, or 42 for a dozen donuts, I mean, that's definitely the better deal. Either way, you're still getting ripped off. So, in here we just have some basic decorations for food and, you know, nice little cafe and so on and so forth. And then we've also connected it next door to the local delicatessen. Oh, apparently that's where I stuck Mama Murphy. I guess she...
You're tied to this place, kid.
Yeah.
Your energy.
Shut up. So anyway, this is the local delicatessen. This is Graviano's Italian Eatery. So this, I just used Snappy Housekit to kind of build the front here, and then inside I wanted some kind of like display for the different meats. So I put in these extra walls here to kind of close this off to make it seem more like a display. I didn't do it for the back sides because it was just going to look a little weird. I think like they were permanently sealed in there. And actually a little fun tidbit, these pieces here are actually sections of the bar, like you'd see in the bar just over there. So use them to kind of create the little bit of display. So anyway, in here, Italian eatery and grocery store, kind of like, you know, if you've ever been to New York, your local delicatessens often have things like this, or even a bodega, depending on where you're living, and so on and so forth. And we do have a fish section there with nobody, unfortunately, doing anything with the fish. This is actually an animated thing where they will come over and like chop up the fish and then toss them in there, just like this is actually an animated thing too, thanks to S'mores, where if you have an idle settler, they will kind of, you know, need something to do. They will go over there and mess with that. Over here we have a tree. Okay. Moving along. All right. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. This is a sort of clothing store, but not really. This was me just kind of filling in space to make this look occupied. So if you're actually looking at it from the street and not really looking, it just looks like a full-on clothing store. So there's a little trick on how to create the illusion that your settlement is fully decorated when it is not. And another little trick too, using Settlement Objects Expanded SOE, is to put the lights in fairly close to the windows so that it creates glare, so that at night it looks like it's you know, all lit up and occupied, which I will be displaying that later on. Another big giant building, again trying to change up the architecture as much as I could from building to building to make this place look very special and unique. And again, this is a empty vessel, nothing in here but a couple of floors, and as you can see I put in some fake windows too to kind of hide the workshop here to keep it from, you know, being visible outside. And then I did the same thing with the lights from SOE to kind of create the effect that you can't really see in because it's lit up and occupied. Over here, another empty house, which apparently the... Oh, this is, yeah, dog meat decided to go in there. I guess that's his house, so... we have Rook Military Surplus. And as you can see here, we also have the illusion of those windows being lit up. That is just a different type of glass that is provided by Snappy Housekit that kind of gives off that glare of it being lit up at all times. Yeah, so let's continue on with our main road. So this one is actually filled. As you can see, we sell military surplus. So in here we have a display of all different types of power armor. Again, I kind of copied the same thing with the Super Duper Mart down the road and put in some glass and then filled it in to create some displays. And right inside here, we have the Nuka Quantum Badassery of power armor. And hey, there he is, the jerk, Sturgis. Always asks me if I'm willing to work, and I'm ready to shoot him in the face. Kind of like that, which doesn't seem to phase him. It kind of varies from resident to resident. If I shoot him in the face, sometimes they go down, other times they just shrug it off like this guy. So anyway, yeah, see? That's why. Oh, I could give him a sarcastic remark.
I love work. I could sit and watch it all day.
Well,
Nice.
for starters, we could use some real beds.
Yeah, shut up.
We've been sleeping on the ground for too
Anyway, so up here we have the weapons section. Downstairs is armor, upstairs is weapons, and I am so thrilled to have my settler here where they're supposed to be. That is very rare, as you've seen in most of my videos, when I try to get them to be in a specific place and they don't. They fall through the floor, or they're on top of the house, or something. Who knows? But anyway, so up here we have all kinds of different weapons, including spiky thingies. As you know, I like spiky thingies. All kinds of, you know, weapons. Okay, you've seen it. Alright, moving along, because we still have a lot of ground to cover. Alright, so up here we have Trinity Tower. This was going to be a very large apartment building, and I had planned to actually put a bunch of apartments in here, but by the time I had finished putting all of this together, it was just not going to work. So I did the same thing here, where I kind of created the illusion that there is I don't know, lived-in space in here and floors and whatnot. So I put in these walls to kind of create the illusion that there's, you know, hallways and doors and whatnot. Initially there was going to be a stairwell here. I was possibly toying with the idea of doing elevators, but because of how many floors there was going to have to be several elevators. And up here was going to be the fancy schmancy penthouse. So we're going to take our fake elevator to the top here so that we can get to... Oh no, I fell. All the way down. Alright, let's go for the one that actually has... Oh wait, no, that's just over there. Oh wait, no, there's two doors over there. Okay. I don't even know what I built. Okay, so up here we have our own little balcony, and we have a separate little balcony over here. And nice little space, and as you can see, I had started to kind of do it to create the whole penthouse up here, but sadly had to ditch it. So up here we have a little glass ceiling here that was going to be part of the penthouse. I put in some chimneys here, which are very glitchy. I don't know why, it's just the way they are. So it is what it is. We got one over there, and then I have this little thing here that's hiding this little section because I have all these funky curves up here, and to get these pieces into place and make it look good, this is stuff that you're never supposed to see, but I'm showing you anyway. So I have this covered so that when I do like my aerial view of like 1 frames per second in a little bit, you won't see that. So, but now you do, and now you know that it exists. And so we got the sign up here for Trinity Tower. And hope you're not a person with vertigo. I do apologize. So over here we have the Town Hall. Big, nice white marble building. And we can head on over this way. We have a little park fountain, all nicely lit up. We do have nice little fountains actually coming out into the water here. I built this all piece by piece, except for the fountain that was actually part of one of my mods. I do not remember which one. I don't know if it'll tell me. Oh, CVC! There you go. CVC. Alright. Yeah, it comes pre-existing like that. One of the things I do not like about this mod is how far out that extends. Like, we come all the way over here. Like, I can drink the water from the fountain even though it's over there, which makes this problematic too when you go to try and move things around it. Like, I can't highlight anything here because the space of this fountain takes up everything. So anyway, we do have some lights here to light this all up nice and pretty at night. Again, we will show things very quickly at night. Here's the backside of the alleyway with some nice steps that lead this way. And I guess, yeah, we'll go down this way. Nothing much to see again. Oh, that's not lined up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, never mind. Nothing to see here. So anyway, pretty much all these buildings here are empty, just lit up so that they appear to be lived in. We do have a nice little sloping walkway down here, driveway, whatever you want to call it. Some more buildings. Again, everything's just kind of empty. I did put all the floors in here because, again, I was going to build that one, but couldn't do it. And yeah, so this leads back to Slocum Joe's and the Italian Eatery. And so there you go. This is our whole little tour of one of the back-alleyed roads. As I said, there's a couple here, so we'll just keep moving along so that we can keep moving along. So we'll get a little faster. So anyway, here we go. We're back to the fountain, and we do have the town hall here, which unfortunately is not occupied. I don't think actually any of the buildings down this way are occupied, so... But I'll give you a good look at all of them anyway. So as you can see, I do have some fancy stairs up in here. Some nice Botticino marble. You'll have to excuse me. I was in the tile and stone industry for a very long time, so I do know my tiles and stones. I just do not know how to put a roof on a building, apparently. Yeah, I thought I had fixed that, and I had, but apparently I guess the save that had that is not present. And same thing with over here. This is not finished either. Whatever. So anyway, as I was saying, yes, I used to be in the tile and stone industry, so I do remember most of my marbles and my stones. Even though I've lost my marbles. Alright. Over here, just another vacant building. This is where everybody sleeps. So, yeah, this is what Sturgis was complaining about not having real beds and everybody sleeping on the ground. I just did that to kind of bring up the happiness and whatever. I don't really care. This isn't really a settlement that I care to make like totally enjoyable and realistic with like food and water and 100% with sleeping arrangements. This is more just design and fun. And so yeah, we have our little corner here that leads into the roundabout. Kind of made that one a little funky shaped, and actually kind of reminds me of Springfield Elementary from my Springfield build. So anyway, I love this whole section here. I spent a lot of time really designing and perfecting the architecture and the layout in this to kind of create a very nicely designed hoity-toity kind of section. This particular building here actually is sort of kind of loosely designed on my wife's first apartment building that she lived in where I met her. Of course, it doesn't really look like this, but it's, you know, similar shape, and it was a similar color, and I was very much inspired by it. Where was that apartment building? I am not saying. So anyway, yes, this was all done up very, very nicely. I decided to make this look like a very, you know, rich section of town, hoity-toity. We have our big business, I want to say, office building, not office building, but an apartment building for people who work in like a high-end office building, you know, New York City type apartment building. And then we have like the suburbs of New York City with like the big hoity-toity mansions and whatnot. So again, nothing in here, and you can see the spotlights. That's again from SOE. That's me pointing lights directly at the windows to create the illusion of people being home. And so the same thing over here. We have another dead empty building that does have a fireplace. Again, I was gonna fully build this one, but yeah, by the time I finished putting in all the buildings, I knew that I was not going to be able to fill in all the ones that I wanted to. And though it does look like there is no floor there, that is just because these foundation sections are all one-sided. So as you can see, it is a little glitch going on there with the blue window. But anyway, yeah, it's just a glitch. So, here we have a monument, and as you can see, there is a fire up top. That is the beacon. This is the beacon of Sanctuary to let people all over Boston and the Commonwealth know that this is where Sanctuary resides, and if you're a good person, you can come and live here peacefully. So, yeah, the monument came pre-assembled. I just kind of built the walkway around it, put in these nice little fences and whatnot to kind of make it look nice. So, yeah, and so the beacon is lit, and as you can see, that is actually straight up fire. Go see it. There we go. So we do have, yes, a big giant bonfire up here. If I can land up there. No, that's as close as I can get. Yeah, that was just kind of a neat little feature I decided to kind of throw in here to give it a little more something special. So, alright, now we can finally, head back on this way and head down one of the other alleyways. So this is the second of 3, I believe. And we're going to head on over to the third one. I could have just gone this way from the monument, but I want to kind of give you the feel of the alleyways. This is actually the first one that I built. Basically what I did is I started out on the gate and started on this side of the road here and worked my way down this way, and for whatever reason with the mod that fixes up all of Sanctuary here, there's only one actual like driveway layout. There's other driveways. Oh, sorry, 2. Okay, I was wrong. But if you know from the game, there's supposed to be several, and for whatever reason, only these 2 are actually set up properly. So I decided to make those like some of my main alleyways, and yeah, so we got one there and one here. So down this way again, nothing is filled in. These are all just empty shells, and again, tried to do what I could with the architecture to try and make everything look as unique as possible from building to building, so it wasn't very cookie cutter. And in here, just basic floors. And yeah, nothing to see in that building. We already kind of looked at that one. And same thing in here. They got grass for their floor, and this one's actually a very plain building. Are you? Oh, you're just a settler. I thought it was Marcy for a second. Shoot her in the face just for being her. You all can relate, so don't even judge. So anyway, yeah, all kinds of different architecture, different designs, and this one is another one that I had planned to make live-in. As you can see, we have stairs leading up to the second floor here, and now you can actually see the big grassy back that I had covered up over in that corner over there. I told you I'd give you a little view of it. This place was actually going to have like a nice full backyard back here that is shared by their neighbors as well. Put a lot of time and effort into this with putting in like a retaining wall to kind of lift it up and kind of closed off some of the backs here so that it looked a little nicer. I probably would have stuck like a tree or 2 in there to kind of cover up little glitches like that. But yeah, so down in here we had a fireplace, and this was all supposed to be lived in, but I did not want to be running this whole video at like 2 frames per second. I wanted to kind of keep it a little bit nicer, a little more enjoyable. Same thing in here, giant hole. As you can see, I have 2 different types of grass. Those particular grass blocks, I believe, come from Snappy Housekit. I have that available through Snappy, as well as yeah, what are you called? Can't remember right off the top of my head. Let's go right into it. It is called Grounded. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you can actually, let's see, go back into landscape and pre-war, and there we go. We have grass. So kind of same thing, just slightly different texture and color. And then we have one more building back in here. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this one. I just kind of mashed together a bunch of different things to kind of create something unique and different from the outside. So here we have our other park. There are 2 parks in this place, each one that has a fountain. This fountain I did build from scratch. I just used the pre-existing whatever Nuka World fountain thing here, and then I added my own water and my own splashies. There's another look at the building here from the outside. It's got kind of a funky roof going on. the backside of some of the other buildings as well. So this was the first park that I built, just to kind of eat up some space. I had to fill all of this ground in. You can actually see where the ground that I put in ends and the original starts, and kind of use some stuff like these giant boulders and whatnot to kind of fill in some of the gaps and get rid of or hide some of the weird angles. So let me turn off my thing here, and so you can see, yeah, it looks a little weird, so do stuff like that to kind of cover things up and make it look a little more natural. So there's a little tip for you, a little building tip. And so yes, we do have a fountain here. We can jump into the water if we wanted to. Maybe we dropped a quarter in there thinking it was a nickel. I don't know. Okay, so now that we have done all that, let's go ahead and make it nighttime so you can see everything in the dark. So we're going to go to, whoops, wrong one. Game alterations. Nope. Sorry, my buttons are a little behind because of the frame rate drop. I'm trying to move fast and... Alright, let's change the time. Nope. Time to 3 a.m. dark. There we go. So as you can see, the fountain is very well lit up. I did put these spotlights in here to really create the effect of, you know, being lit up, I guess. Alright, so anyway, we got a whole bunch of lantern lights surrounding the whole park to make it look nice, and goes all the way around it. And, I might actually be able to see the beacon through the trees up there a little bit. Oops. And so yeah, as you can see now, everything looks more or less, except for this one, it's dark, but it looks like they're all occupied. Everything looks kind of lit up, like there's people in there, and have the lights on, and so on and so forth. And same thing with our big Trinity building here now. What I did was I put random spotlights in front of different windows all over the place to kind of look like, you know, not every single place is lit up. So it's more realistic that way, because I mean, if you look at most office buildings and apartment buildings at night, you're not going to see every single window lit up.
Help out or get lost.
Okay. There we go. Now everybody's going to hate me. Oh no, they forgave me. They're like, yeah, we hate her too. So anyway, yeah, being 3 a.m., everybody's headed towards their beds on the ground. So, yeah, as you can see, we have lights everywhere. All the buildings are nicely lit up for the most part. I left a few empty, so it looks like, you know, they're asleep or not home or whatever. And got the illusion of everybody, or I should say every building, more or less, is occupied. So, now we'll head on back over to the really, really nice section. We'll check out the other fountain as well. And oh, you were just asking for it. Let me see, what do I have? We're gonna take a quick side detour here. Let's see, weapons, cheat fatman. Oh, you guys are gonna love this thing. Are you ready? Here we go. Tell me that's like not the coolest thing in the world. Let's do a little repeat of that. We'll start off down here. Don't use that if you have a low-end PC, because, yeah, you're going to be launching like 500,000 nukes in like 1 second. So, she totally deserved it, though. Anyway, here's the other park, all nicely lit up, as you can see. So with this one, I did spotlights as well as the glowing orby thingies from SOE that they're omni lights and give off light in every direction, so that it looks really nice. Yeah, there's everybody going into their communal bedroom in that derelict building. And so here, you know, same thing. Everything's just kind of half and half lit up. Sometimes it works really great where it makes the windows look like that, kind of like frosted over and lit up, and other times not so much. I think there was actually supposed to be something here for this window, but it wasn't really working. You know, some of them were kind of hit or miss. That's kind of where I threw in some of the blue lights and whatnot. And there we go. There's our beacon. So there we go. There is my Sanctuary City settlement tour. This took a long, long time. I don't even know how long. Like, I was working on this for a couple of months. Like, on my days off for like several hours at a time, as well as trying to do my Let's Build videos, and I'm probably going to end up crashing the game by doing this coming up here into the air, but we'll go up just a little bit maybe. And yeah, so there we go. A lot of time spent putting this whole thing together. Now you can kind of see the grand scale of this this build, and we really truly do have a full sanctuary city. So yeah, I hope you guys all appreciated the work and the effort that I put into this to bring you guys some entertainment. Of course, I had a lot of fun doing it, and it's something I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. I've seen a video here and there of a few other people that have done something similar, and thought it was like some of the coolest stuff in the world, so decided to give myself a little chance at doing something like this, and I gotta say, I think it turned out pretty good. So, what is coming up next? Obviously, I have some more Let's Build videos, but I have a couple of viewer requests that I have satisfied. We are at Sunshine Tidings. That'll be coming up on my next settlement tour video, and then after that, we are at Coastal Cottage. The only direction I got for that, for the request for that one, was to do something that had to do with mirelurks, and I think eating them, which I think I did a pretty good bang-up job on that one. So that's what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. If you have a request of someplace you'd like to see me build at like this, not necessarily for my Let's Build, but a completed settlement, please leave a request down below, and I do read and respond to pretty much all of them, and love a good challenge on something like this to try and build. After those two, I do have another one. It was also another request for Spectacle Island, for a castle that takes up the whole island, and very, very excited. I could not wait to get to that one, and I have just started working on that one as well. So yeah, again, if you guys have any requests, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to fulfill them as long as it can be done. And I will catch you guys next time. Until then, don't get irradiated.